呢，我也会把这个今天的说明会，给它录下来。所以呢，因为我们这个竞赛呢，真正的决赛是在明年2026年的7月份，要在渥太华举行哈。这是咱们not 安大略，是咱们全加拿大 national level 的一个比赛啊，这是总决赛。所以说呢，可能有的家长需要陆续的报名啊，所以我就把今天咱们的说明会整体来录制一下哈。好。今天呢，给大家先介绍几点吧，关于这个我们的 Canada National Spelling Bee。第一个就是这个比赛到底它的背书或者这个它的重要性到底是什么样子的啊？第二个呢，就是比赛的整个流程啊、过程内容啊，尤其是包括咱们的这个预选赛啊。第三个就是我们应该怎么备赛啊，这是学生最关键的啊。那么第四一个就是整个在备赛过程中啊，在参赛过程中对学生有什么利好的地方啊？我们一起来分享一下。现在我来分享一下屏幕。好了啊。首先呢，这个就是我们所说的之前跟大家先提到的这个 Canada Super Spelling Bee 啊，这个比赛跟大家简单介绍一下，它呢是往往是以学校为单位啊。那我们的学校就是我们的学分学校。那么在学校里面，我们要先进行校级的选拔啊，通过校级的选拔，最后角逐出3个参加加拿大国家级别竞赛的选手啊。那么他们在2026年的7月份，7月中旬要亲自 in person 去渥太华参加加拿大全国总决赛。这是一个 spelling bee。这个实际上关于拼读的这个事情呢，很多家长应该听过这个词哈，知道它是一个关于拼单词的一个比赛，但是呢，可能对细节不太了解，实际上它是非常有趣的哈。也就是说，如果我们的学生通过层层选拔，比如说被我们的学校给选送为 或者 finalist top three 最后参加决赛的3名选手，那么如果你能够在这个奥特华的这个决赛中全加拿大的级别决赛中取得比如说一般 top one two three，那你还有机会来参加 international level spelling bee 参加全球的这个 spelling bee 的比赛看看你自己是否对背单词感兴趣哈那么这个比赛呢，首先给大家先介绍一下，它是什么样的形式哈。比如说，很多学生可能之前有过准备 SAT，或者你可能上课的时候，甚至是家长给孩子呢，去布置过一样相应的任务，要去背一些单词哈。那我们知道，其实孩子的词汇量，哪怕你是针对的 native speaker 词汇量多，那么对于你精深的阅读跟写作的深度跟广度都是非常有帮助的更不要提，可能等我们到了9年级学分课开始，你要在各个科目里面，哪怕是数理化生有好多专业的术语，那这些词汇量大，对你也是非常好处的。那我们看一下，像去年2025年2025年呢winning word。我们再通过这些例子看一看这个 spelling bee 它的词汇大概难度是什么样子的哈。我们看到 champion 是叫 Melody Chan，应该是华人的孩子那第2名的就是 Catherine Zhang 这个就不是华人的孩子哈。第1、第2名都是被我们所囊括。那去年的这个 criterion 呢，这个就是它的 winning word 通过角逐一轮轮的筛选最后谁拼对了这个单词，他就得到了 champion。显然是 Melody 这个孩子那你看2024年这个单词的难度pneumatocele 这个词，其实很多学生可能在生活中，哪怕你是11、12年级的高中生，可能你也不太用到的词所以你会发现决赛级别的这个生词是相对来讲比较生僻的，你确实要特定的去准备那这个2023年相对来讲，你看词的这个字母的组成相对比较有规律然后呢，字母也不像2024年那么多meridian 这个词 rococo 这也是看起来简单一点，但是你要想到这些所有的参赛决赛的选手们都是前面通过一轮又一轮的角逐，最后落到这个决赛的单词都怕拼错，拼错一个字母就算错等一下给大家展示一下视频，看看真正的 spelling bee 的比赛是什么样子的好。然后这是2021年的，这个单词比较长2022年的2020的这个比较简单，因为你发现前面是有一个词缀前缀的incriminate、discriminate 这些词我们比较常见，但是呢你要知道这个根据拼词法是怎么拼的这个相对来讲2019年也比较简单，那我可能要说大家最生僻的是2021年的那以及2024年这2个更生僻。2025年是一个比较tricky word 这词呢可能听起来或看起来都不生僻，但如果你拼的时候，尤其是后面那个 rion 很容易拼错，对吧这就是我们说 spelling bee 进到最后啊，加拿大全国啊决赛 level 得第一名的学生，最后他的 winning word 猜的单词，这是他的难度的级别哈。那么等一下呢，给大家分享，就是如果学生准备报名参加这个 Spelling Bee 的我们叫跟我们学校报预选赛的话，我们也会给学生们要发3组词汇手册，这3组背完之后，还会有更多的词汇手册。那么整个这个 Spelling Bee 大家要知道哈，咱们全加拿大的全国比赛，它的词汇量到底需要掌握多少？可能大家比较关注哈，你需要掌握多少词汇量才有这个机会去角逐至少 top three 呢？首先第一个它第一轮出的单词，一开始它是一轮轮筛选第一轮出的单词都会是给我们分享我们给学生的词汇手册中的词。我们一共发3份词汇手册，每一份是200个生僻词单词搁在一起是600个单词600个再加一个 extra add on 或我们叫 add on 又有另外200个单词，现在600加200，800个单词。那么在我们进行这个预选赛的时候，以及在如果你进到了被我们选送成前3名进入到加拿大全国国家比赛的时候那么这些单词在前几轮考完之后，还会有一些它的单词表里没给你分享过的词汇。这些词汇从哪儿出呢？各位看它的词源来自于一本字典，因为我们知道不同的字典，比如牛津字典比如说 Longman 冷文字典比如说 Webster 我们说韦伯字典字典不一样，里面出现的词儿会有所区别那么它这个 Spelling Bee 它的词汇来源主要来自于韦伯字典。所以说，如果你有兴趣背完了我们分享的词汇手册，你也可以试试背背字典了好。当然，平时如果学生们自己的阅读量是比较大的，那肯定是对你也是很有帮助的哈。这个就是在去年2025年的决赛的时候到场的这些 keynote speaker，那我们看到有这个 Honorable Doug Ford 然后包括这里面 MP 对吧然后包括 Mayor of Ottawa、Mayor of Calgary 这些都会给我们这个竞赛背书。那体现的是我们这个 national level，我们叫 Canada National，然后 Spelling Bee Contest 它的一个级别。为什么要提到这个级别呢？当一个比赛相对来讲是比较credible 比较高的credibility 比较高的，那么学生如果拿到名次，你用来他不管是申请学校，还是你比如说在备赛过程中提升自身的词汇量做一个有驱动力因为你光让孩子去背单词，可能对他来讲是比较无聊的。但是这个 Spelling Bee 的形式，等一下我们就会拿视频展示一下，大家看一看还是相对比较有趣一些的。当然也会有一些压力那毕竟是个比赛嘛这是去年竞赛的一些活动场面，看一下这个里面照片里的孩子们年龄实际上我们这个National Spelling Bee 它的要求学生年级是在你参加比赛，也就是决赛2020年暑假的时候，你刚完成了最多要叫1年级到8年级的学生那你最大的孩子也就是8年级，你刚念完。好，那这就是如果你马上就是比如说9年级跟12年级的这个区间高中生的话，这个就不能参加 Spelling Bee 的资格了。同时告诉大家一个消息呢，就是不论假设参赛选手是1年级的还是7、8年级的他并不分组进行比赛，而是在一起比赛的。你看看这些参赛选手的孩子年龄，大部分其实比较多的可能是从4年级一直到6、7年级比较多一点它并不分级别。那有的人说是不是这样不公平那小朋友的话背的单词认识的可能不如大孩子多。实际上就是因为大家知道我们都开那个 SACT 的班我们 SACT 班里面其实对词汇量的要求是比较高的，老师要发从头到尾基础班到强化班要发大概四份词汇的手册你发现往往我们进行期中跟期末模考的时候那实际上我们的 middle level 就是在读的时候是5、6年级那 upper level 在读的时候是7、8年级，middle level 的成绩永远是比 upper level 要高的这些年我们开的所有班平均分一看是 middle 的孩子考的成绩要比 upper 孩子成绩比较高的其实这个我能想到的一个原因就是可能 middle 的孩子呢相对来讲他的活动没有 upper level 的孩子大孩子那么多同时呢他可能学习的这个 concentration 更好一点啊。那相对大一点的孩子可能容易 easy distracted，他可能干点别的事情啊，所以他付出的 effort 跟 time are not as comparable as those younger kids，这也是唯一的原因。So anyway，说这个话的意思是告诉大家啊，1年级到8年级的学生是同场角逐的，你们并不被分组哈。哎，好。嗯，那接下来给大家看一下，我们这个是比较关键的几个信息哈，跟大家分享。嗯，首先我们看一下，真正给大家介绍一下这个Spelling Bee 的比赛的实况现场啊，它的这个 procedure 是什么样的啊？那你发现，其实，在我们校内这个整个这个比赛的这个组委会告诉我们说，你可以把学生分组啊，但是呢不分组也行，因为真正决赛的时候是孩子们不分组的哈但你发现呢？我们说 national competition 的时间安排在每一年的7月份，7月中旬，在渥太华啊，大概1到2天，会在一个这样的一个会议室里面啊。那么这里面有3个人物，第一个叫 head judge。啊，就是我们所说的这个总的裁判啊，他是 official ruling as to correct or incorrect。你发现在，学生们在一个会场啊，在一个舞台上，给大家展示一下这个视频哈。大家能看到我的这个屏幕吗？为了确认哈，我再重新分享一下。嗯嗯，好啊，这就是去年的 Spelling Bee 的实况现场哈。
Spelling 99.
Hello?
Hello. Your word is Vindaloo.
Vindaloo. May I please have all of the information?
Of course. Vindaloo is a noun. Vindaloo is the only pronunciation that I have here. It is a spicy Indian dish with meat and vinegar. The etymology is Portuguese to Indo-Portuguese to konkani. The sentence is, at the Indian restaurant, Sam ordered the Vindaloo, enjoying the spicy blend of meat, garlic, and vinegar.
Vindaloo. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Vindaloo.
Vindaloo. Vindiloo. Vindaloo.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. The word is spelled Vindaloo. Good work.
Thank you.
Speller 101. Your word is actinic.
Can I have the definition?
Actinic is caused by energy from light or ultraviolet radiation.
Are there any other pronunciations?
I just see the one, actinic.
嗯。好啊，大家刚才看到的就是整个我们那个一个画面啊，考试的这个现场，学生在整个舞台上，然后后面呢是有个 projector 大的屏幕，屏幕上会体现这学生的 bio。你看刚才那个孩子啊，就刚才出现那个男生啊，他呢就是8年级的啊，是在一个 Catholic school 啊，这是学生的简单的介绍啊。然后根据刚才我们看到那个场面呢，我们现在再导回去，稍等哈，导回去刚才我们分享的这个页面啊，大家看一下。Procedure 里面，你发现刚才我们听到一个男老师的声音啊，这个人就是 pronouncer 啊，他是给学生发声的啊，发音的。那你发现一个问题，记好了，规则是每一个学生啊，他 take turns 站大牌啊，那有一个人上台来，他有2分钟的时间来 handle 一个单词，在2分钟时间内给出最终拼写的答案啊。首先是以这个 pronouncer 给你朗读出这个单词啊，那么在2分钟时间内实际上是很长的时间是足够的啊。那 学生可以请求，像刚才我们看到视频里那样，可以请求这个 pronouncer 给出所有相关的信息，比如说它有没有其他的发音啊，有没有其他的意思呀？啊，那这个词它的 part of speech，也就是它词性、名词、动词、形容词是什么呀？啊，然后包括这个词应该怎么去use it in a sentence, all right? Can you give me one example sentence? So those are all the questions that you're allowed to ask. And then after you get all the responses from pronouncer, and you can generally produce your spelling as your answer. So that's the rule 啊。那你发现当学生确认啊，再举个例子，比如说你这个单词拼写一半的时候，比如说刚才那个女孩子 Vindaloo，她如果发现自己的字母 I 错了，so actually if you find yourself making a mistake in here, you can actually instead of no, you can actually ask the judge, can I try it again? And then you have to restart from the very beginning, the very first letter of this word, and then you give out every single letter in this word, and then they will just check out your final answer. All right, so that will be the rule. It's a lot of fun. Okay, all right. So 你看到有一个 pronouncer，然后有一个 head judge。如果出现任何的 if there's any controversy, because for example, maybe the judge doesn't hear it clearly, or the contestant has to repeat, and then that will be the call of the head judge. All right. So and also just now you see a guy in white shirt that came up the stage and helped with the microphone and everything. That is a volunteer. All right. So usually all the contestants will line up in a row and then will come to the stage one by one. And then, for example, either you get it correct or incorrect, you get off the stage after you're done with your word. But if you are wrong with one word, you are eliminated. All right. You don't have to go back to the queue to go for the next round. Only when you get this word correct, you hear the word correct from the head judge, and then you go back to queue up again for the next round. So you will find out actually the line is getting shorter and shorter until you probably see the final 5, final 3, and then that's it. All right. It's a lot of fun, but it could be kind of pressuring. I have to say that, right? 所以也很挑战你的这个耐性哈挑战你的这个抗压的能力。OK，so 这是一个我们的这个比赛的过程大家简单了解了。那么我们再看一下这里面跟这个 procedure 有关的哈，就是刚才我解释的那些，每个人2分钟的时间然后呢这个需要站一排，如果你但凡有一个词错了，你就不需要重新站牌了你就被淘汰了所以你发现那个等候的那个 line 是越来越短的，最后赢的 champion 就剩你一个人拼对了 ，OK 最后一个被淘汰的就是你了，好了，那现在我们说一下 ，so now 我还是讲英文吧，因为刚才我看到像 Jasper、Jade 可能那个学生在里面 ，so I'm a bit concerned how much you can understand me if I speak Mandarin, so it's better I switch to English. All right, so now we're gonna think about the tips of preparing for spelling bee. So first of all, guys, this is a very, very exciting contest because, as you know, if you want to stand out academically, either for applying to the top private school or you want to stand out in your main school currently, all right, vocabulary is very important. But unfortunately, for example, let's say you're currently 7th grader. The next year, you're going to apply to the top private school, either in Canada or the US. So besides the SSAT, which is very demanding for vocabulary level, also at the same time, it's better for you to have some academic achievement. Unfortunately, academic competition for younger students are not as many as you can find for older ones. You see what I mean? For example, let's say most of our students who aspire to apply to UTS, for example, they probably have the math competition like a kangaroo. Some of them have GAUS. A few of them even have taken the AMC to a certain level. Yes, that's good, but that's only for math, right? And then the point is usually for this math contest, it's not very easy for many students to get like number 1, 2, 3 on the national level. You see what I mean? But think about this, Canada National Spelling Bee, #1 in terms of credibility, guys. All right. For all the achievement, all the admission officer will check out your credibility. So the top tier would be international for sure. All right. So that means like contestants from different nations compete with each other to get a #1 in the world, right? That's international. And then the second tier will be national level, like entire Canada. So this is a second tier competition, highly credible. And again, if you're able to get the top 3, you will have the chance to compete internationally. So yeah, it is rare for younger kids to find such a highly credible competition opportunity. Well, especially for the literature perspective compared to the math. You will see a lot of a math competition opportunity, but not that much for English or for literature, for language, right? So this is a very good chance. A very typical example is, I think 2 years ago, we got a student from Michigan, the US, all right? And she wanted to apply to the top private school in Michigan State called Cranbrook. And then she actually got the #1, in the state, in the whole Michigan state for the spelling bee. That is American national, the state level, or say it's more like a provincial level spelling bee. All right, think about it. If you can avidly prepare for example, like a filtering or say screening competition with us, and then if you finally manage to get the top 3, you will be able to be listed on the national level competition. All right. And hopefully, I wish you all the good luck. Okay, finally you manage to get the top 3 national level. That would be awesome, right? So this is a great opportunity for you guys. All right. So now we are talking about the prep tips. All right. So actually, again, if any of you guys had the experience of doing the SSAT before, all right, so I believe you probably have spent a lot of time and effort study or researching about how you can memorize vocabulary. And if you by any chance have taken our SSAT class, and in class the teacher is going to teach you how you can memorize words more easily and for longer time. All right. So tip #1, guys, look, this is in terms of strategy. You need to do the spaced repetition. That is to say, guys, look, listen. Okay. So if I'm going to just quantify the number of words you need to memorize, all right, I would say it's better for you to go through 50 words per day, 50 words per day. It works a lot better than 1 word for 50 days because people forget anyways with time. All right. So that means, for example, let's say if you manage to memorize 50 words the first day, and then let's say usually, so after for the forgetting like a curve, after 1 week, you will probably forget about 50%. All right. So think about it with your 50 multiply 7, that would be 350. All right. If you by any chance forget 50%, you still have a 170, 180 something left, right? But if you only do like a 1 word or even 10 words per day, and then still 50% you will forget about them. And then that's such a small vocabulary bank for you to remember. All right. So it's better, again, quantify it, 50 words per day, and quickly go through it. And then next day, before you start a new batch of 50 words, you got to go back to review the previous 50 and then start your new 50. And then the third day, you need to again review the first 100 words quickly and then start your next 50 words. Again, you repeat the same thing. All right. It's all about spaced repetition. All right. And then logbooks. That means, for example, you need to take some notes, right? So you probably find like the more time you spend, but still somehow for some words, usually a few of them, for some words, you just tend to forget about it, okay? Not only the meaning, but also, like the spelling, that's the most important thing. Again, so this is a spelling bee contest you're taking. So you need to make sure you pay special attention to the spelling, every single letter, all right? Not only knowing the contextual meaning. That means, well, you can actually figure out the general meaning if you can read the example sentence. No, that's not enough. That's only the vocab skill you need in reading, in extensive reading. But for, spelling bee contest, you need to do it or learn it in a micro level, like very small level, every single letter. Okay. All right. So for some words you just tend to forget very often, it's better for you to write it down on your notebook and then carry your notebook everywhere. Maybe when you are during the break or you are waiting for something and you just bring it out and look into them. All right. Again, that's again called a spaced repetition. All right. You repeat it more often. This is how you remember something. All right. Okay. All right. So next one, how do you learn words? All right. Again, back to if you had experience of memorizing words or learning SSAT, usually in our class, the teacher will share with you the tips of knowing the prefix. That means the chunk of words, or say the chunk of letters in the beginning of a word. And then you will also need to memorize the suffix. That is the chunk of letters at the very end of the word. And also the chunk of letters in the middle, that's what we call the root, right? So prefix, root, and suffix. And then after you combine them all together, usually you can figure out how that means. And also that helps a lot with the spelling accuracy, because it's all about spelling, not only about the general understanding the meaning, right? Contextual meaning. All right. So yeah, number one, that's what we call the roots. You have to know the roots. And number two, some of the words, well, you need to probably understand the Latin, or say the origin of the words, or say, for example, some of the words are pretty foreign. They might be from like a, German culture. They might be from the Latin language system. All right. So for that reason, you can all check it out either by Google or ChatGPT or even by dictionary. All right. Again, whenever you want to refer to dictionary, use the Webster. All right. This is where all those words come from. All right. Don't go for other one. Okay. So those are probably like, basically two strategies for to memorize words. Number one, guys, spaced repetition. 50 words per day, and then keep on going, keep on going. All right. Number two, you need to definitely learn the prefix, the roots, and the suffix. All right. For example, okay. All right. Let's say prejudice. We have heard about a very like a famous book, Pride and Prejudice, right? So prejudice, all right, PRE, that is the prefix, all right? So that means before. Think about it, prepare, prejudge, all right, and pre. So PRE means before. And the Jew, J-U-D, that's a root, is a chunk of the root, means judge. As you know, J-U-D-G-E, judge, right? Okay, I-C-E as a suffix usually means a noun, part of the speech. Usually that indicates noun, and usually is the abstract meaning of the noun, all right? For example, abstract meaning noun could be love, hatred, whereas for the solid meaning, there could be a phone, something you can touch, something you can see, a picture, laptop, right? So yeah, this DICE as a suffix means abstract noun. So if you piece them together, that means prejudice is a prejudge noun. It's a noun meaning prejudge. All right. And after knowing the spelling of the prefix and the roots and the suffix, is easier for you to do the spelling. PRE, judge, Jud, and ICE, right? Prejudice. All right, that's it. But this is very simple example because you don't really see many words as easy as that one, not even for the younger kids. But anyway, they don't really categorize the kids for their age. Okay. All right. So you'll be competing all together. All right. So those are the two chunk of the strategy you're recommended to prepare for the spelling bee. Okay. All right. So now let me show you some example, guys. Okay. So if you are interested in this spelling bee competition, either for the sake of getting into the national level contest, or for the sake of you're like, okay, so I want to just improve my vocabulary anyways, right? Why don't I just, take this chance as a motivation? I, get all this, like a worksheet and a word list and then prepare for them, and it's going to be helpful from academics anyways. Or you probably plan to apply to the private school, all right, either for the grade 7 entry or for grade 9 entry. Number one, you need achievement, all right? You need the competing experience, especially for the national level. You don't really get that easily or rarely, as a matter of fact. All right. Number two, you do want to prepare for the SSAT anyways, so you have to memorize words, right? Why don't I just, like a two birds, one stone, right? So easy like that. So this is for the grade 1 to 3. Guys, look, it's not as easy as you may think, all right? So all those words are from 1 to 6. Most likely they are the SSAT level, either for SSAT middle or upper. SSAT level are just like this, nothing more than this, all right? So next, let's look at the, okay, hold on. Grade 4 to 6. For a little bit older kids. This is your level, okay? But if you sign up for preparing for this competition, you'll get all of them, because definitely I believe probably at least 80% of the words you don't really know from each list. This is for grade 7 to 9 to 8. See, this is easy. Cardio, you know what that means, right? VAS, you know what that means? Okay. So you can guess on the meaning. So guys, look, actually, this is a very good spectrum for to understand how much or how deep you should understand a word. First of all, you should know the spelling. Number two, you need to know the part of speech. You see that? Part of speech. So this is how you can use it in your sentence, all right? And then you need to know the pronunciation. You want people to understand you when you really say it, right? And then definitely you need to know the definition and then how you can use it in a sentence as an example, all right? So those are the 5 parameters or spectrum you need to understand a word. This is the really how you can memorize them. Not only, for example, usually guys, the funny thing is when you read extensively on the books, right? Because lots of us have very good reading habits. You carry a book everywhere. When you do the extensive reading, you only know a word on this level, guys. All right. Like when this word is put in the sentence, and then you can guess on the contextual meaning. All right. But the specific definition, you don't really know. And then you probably can guess on the pronunciation, but not as precise, right? And part of speech, some of students are more aware of a grammar. You probably can guess on the part of speech, right? And then spelling, we barely pay attention to the spelling. That's the point, right? Okay, so those are, I guess, pretty clear about number one. So how reputable this spelling bee contest is. Number two, you know the procedure and the timeline, and then you know the scene, how it looks like in the real contest, right? And then number three, you know how you can prepare for this memorizing words, all right? And last one for today, number 4. So this is our timeline, guys. Look, so the timeline is, like I said, all right. So as you know, next year in July, mid-July, the national level competition will be held in Ottawa. All right, so we will select the final top 3 candidates to attend this contest. But before that, how we can find this top 3? All right, so first of all, once any of you shows interest, like telling me you want to register for this contest, and then I'm gonna share the 3 batch of word list plus extra add-on or extra one for you. And then the registration of the contest fee is 100 Canadian dollars per person. All right. That means like once you commit to this contest from like the moment you commit to the all the way next year, if you can get into the national level, it's just $100. Well, except for example, if you're on the final list, and then you will cover the cost for the trip to Ottawa or even the hotel, if by any chance to go with your parents to the hotel. The parents need to take care of the the combination and everything. All right, that will be like a at your own precaution. All right, so after registration, and then you will get all this word list. All right, and then next, okay, there will be 3 rounds of a screening contest in order to find the final 3 with us. All right, so the first one in early Jan, that's after Christmas break. In early Jan, that is our round 1 online contest. All right, and then all of you guys are required to be online on live, camera on, and then we're gonna just have the contest. All right, and the format of the contest will be announced later. All right, so this is early Jan, and then in February there will be the second round of the contest with us. All right, so after screening the first round, we go to the second round, and then the last round will be in mid-March. All right, so in the mid-March, after that contest, we will decide on the final list, like the top 3 people to go to the Canada National Spelling Bee, all right, to compete in July, Ottawa. Okay, so this is what's gonna happen. Anyway, all right. So guys, if there are any takeaways, I gotta say, number 1, this is a very like a highly credible national level contest, which is rare for grade 1 to 8 students. In terms of the language, all right, you barely find this level of contest at all. All right, and also, for example, compared to, okay, some of you probably say, okay, how about I take part in the New York Times writing contest? Think about it. It is good. It is even top tier. It's an international level, right? Even better or higher than this Canada level, national level. But the thing is, on the international level, you know how challenging to be, let's say, top 10 even. It is hard, all right? But for this one, you kind of feel like as long as you put efforts, you put time in it, and you might get a chance, number 1, to at least compete on the national level, go for the national contest. Number 2, you probably can get the chance to the top 3, okay, on the national competition. All right, so this is number 1. Number 2, I do believe that this is highly beneficial to those students who prepare for the SSAT, who prepare for the top private school application. That will definitely boost or strengthen your credential in application. All right. And then, yes, if you are interested, if you're determined, let's just play. All right. This is fun. Okay. Okay. So, 今天差不多内容就这些。我问一下，咱们有什么其他的问题吗？好的，那今天我们到这儿，大家如果再想起什么问题来报名也好，有问题也好，到时候微信我，好吧？今天我们就这样，OK，拜拜。
谢谢。
谢谢。
好，
拜拜。
拜拜。
嗯。